I walked into my living room and froze. My mother was standing on a ladder, tearing down the curtains my grandmother had hung 20 years ago. I asked what she was doing. She didn't even look at me. Redecorating. This floral pattern is hideous. I told her those were Grandma's favorites. She climbed down, crossed her arms, and said the words that changed everything. "You're just a guest in this house. Don't forget that." A guest. In my own home. I felt my chest tighten. But I didn't argue. I didn't yell. Because upstairs, locked in my desk drawer, I had an envelope she'd never seen. An envelope that proved she was dead wrong. Quick question. Where are you watching from, and what time is it there? Drop a comment. And hit that like button if you've ever been disrespected in your own space. Subscribe, because this story gets wild. I turned and walked upstairs. My hands shook as I pulled the envelope from the drawer. Inside was the deed to the house. My name, not hers. Let me back up. 5 years ago, my grandmother was dying. She raised me when my mom disappeared for a decade. No calls, no letters, just gone. Grandma got sick fast. Lung cancer. Stage 4. I moved into her house to take care of her, quit my apartment lease, worked 2 jobs to cover her medical bills and keep the mortgage current. She was 3 months behind when I arrived. The bank was circling. I paid it off. All of it. On her last night, she held my hand and said something I'll never forget. "This house is yours. I already put it in writing. Don't let anyone take it from you." She died the next morning. 2 weeks later, her lawyer called me in. He handed me the will. Clear as day, the house went to me. Solely and absolutely. My mother got a small cash bequest, $5,000, already paid out. The deed transferred into my name. Notarized, filed, done. I kept every document, every email, every bank statement, because Grandma taught me one thing: always keep receipts. For 5 years, I lived there. I paid the property taxes, I paid the insurance. I fixed the roof, the HVAC, the plumbing. I poured $78,000 into that house. Then, 6 months ago, my mother came back. She showed up at the door with a suitcase and tears, said she'd lost her job, needed a place to stay, just temporarily. I thought maybe we could heal. Maybe she'd changed. I let her in. Biggest mistake of my life. It started small. She rearranged the furniture. Fine. She invited her boyfriend to stay over. Annoying, but okay. Then she started acting like she owned the place, because she thought she did. 3 weeks ago, she cornered me at breakfast, slid a piece of paper across the table. It was a lease. Handwritten. "What is this?" "Your rental agreement. $1,800 a month. Sign it." I stared at her. "Rent? For what?" "For living here. You've been freeloading long enough." I felt my face get hot. "Mom, I've been paying all the bills, the taxes, the insurance, everything." She laughed. "That's called contributing to the household. Now it's time you pay me rent. I'm being generous. This is below market." I asked her whose name was on the deed. She didn't blink. "Mine. Obviously. This was my mother's house. When she died, it became mine." Her boyfriend was leaning against the doorway, smirking. This was planned. I looked down at the lease again. There was a clause at the bottom. Tenant agrees that the landlord has sole authority over household decisions. She wanted control. Total control. I took a breath. "I need 24 hours to think about it." Her eyes went cold. "Fine, 24 hours. If you don't sign, I'm calling a locksmith, and you'll be out on the street." She walked away. Her boyfriend followed, still smirking. I sat there staring at that piece of paper, and I realized she had no idea who actually owned the house. I spiraled, checked my bank account, first month, last month, and a deposit. In this market, I couldn't afford it. I called a friend. Just pay her for now and start looking for a place. It's not worth the fight. But it felt wrong. It felt like losing. I walked back downstairs. Mom and her boyfriend were measuring the spare room. This will be perfect for my office. Not a office, my office. They were moving in, permanently. I went to my room and started packing a go bag. I felt like a kid again. The kid who was never enough, never wanted. That night, I sat on the porch at midnight. Defeated. The lease was on my lap. I had a pen in my hand. Maybe she was right. Maybe I was just a guest. Maybe I'd always been one. I brought the pen to the paper. Then I stopped. I remembered what my grandmother said. Don't let anyone take it from you. I put the pen down, stood up, and went to find the folder my lawyer gave me at the estate closing, the one I'd kept in my filing cabinet for 5 years, the one my mother had never asked about, because she didn't know it existed. I opened the estate folder, first document on top, certified copy of my grandmother's last will and testament. I read it 3 times. I bequeath the property at address to my granddaughter, solely and absolutely. Signed by my grandmother, witnessed by 2 people, notarized, filed with the probate court. My mother was listed in the will, but only for the cash bequest, $5,000, already paid out. The deed transferred into my name, notarized, filed, done. I leaned back in my chair. She had no idea. She thought the house automatically passed to her when Grandma died. She never checked, she never asked, she just assumed. And now she was trying to charge me rent on a house I owned. I wanted to laugh, but I didn't, because I realized something. She had a boyfriend with a temper, she had a locksmith on speed dial, and she had a whole family group chat she could weaponize. I had the deed, but I needed more than that. I needed to be ready for war. Morning came fast. I walked into the kitchen. Mom and her boyfriend were waiting. "So," she said, "did you sign?" I kept my voice calm. "I'd like to see your copy of the deed first." Her face changed, just for a second, a flicker of panic. Then she recovered. "It's in storage. I don't need to show you anything. This is my house." Her boyfriend stepped closer. Not threatening, not yet, but close enough to make a point. "You heard her. Sign the lease or get out." I didn't move. Mom pulled out her phone. "Fine. I didn't want to do this." She opened the family group chat, started typing. Within minutes, my phone exploded. Texts from my aunts, my cousins, even my brother. "Why are you squatting in Mom's house? She's letting you live there for free and you won't even help out? You're ungrateful." She'd spun the whole story, painted me as the villain, and everyone believed her. No one asked my side, no one asked for proof. Mom looked at me and smiled. "You've got until tomorrow morning, then I'm calling the sheriff to remove you for trespassing." She had no legal standing. I knew that, but she didn't, and she was betting I wouldn't fight back. I went upstairs, locked my door, and pulled up my bank statements for the last 5 years. If she wanted paperwork, I'd bury her in it. I opened my files. 5 years of property tax payments, every single one from my account. 5 years of homeowner's insurance, my card, my name. Roof replacement, $14,000, my money. HVAC system, $9,000, me. Plumbing overhaul, $6,000, me. New windows, driveway reseal, electrical panel upgrade, all of it. Every receipt, every invoice. I built a spreadsheet. Total invested, $78,000. Amount contributed by my mother, 0. I sat back. Then I remembered something. 2 months ago, my aunt, my mom's sister, sent me an email. I searched for it. There. I need to warn you about your mom's boyfriend. He has a warrant in another state. Gambling debts. Be careful. She's not thinking straight. My aunt knew. She tried to warn me. And my mother knew too. She brought a wanted man into my house. Let him intimidate me. Let him plan to take over a room. This wasn't about rent. This was about control and money. I did a quick public records search on the boyfriend. 2 liens, 1 eviction, a $15,000 judgment. He was drowning in debt, and my house was the lifeboat. Now I understood. Now I knew exactly what I had to do. I kept digging. Opened my mom's Facebook. It was public. 3 days ago, she posted a photo of the house. Caption, finally reclaiming my mother's house. New chapter in my family home. My family home. She'd already told everyone she owned it. I scrolled further. Another post from a week ago. Excited to start fresh. Sometimes you have to take what's yours. The comments were full of congratulations. Friends saying, you deserve this. She'd built an entire narrative, and I was the obstacle. I pulled up Zillow, checked comparable sales in the neighborhood. The house was worth $420,000. If she could sell it, or even refinance it, she'd clear his debts and have cash left over. That's what this was. Not a mother wanting to reconnect, not a family trying to heal, a con. She didn't come back for me, she came back for the asset. I closed my laptop, sat in the dark for a minute, then I made 3 calls. First, my real estate attorney, left a message. Second, a locksmith, explained the situation. He said he'd need proof of ownership. I told him I'd email the deed. Third, the local police non-emergency line. I explained everything. The officer listened. Ma'am, if you're the legal owner, you have every right to control access to your property. We can stand by if you need us. I thanked him, hung up, and started drafting a 30-day notice to vacate. By morning, everything would change. I didn't sleep that night. Didn't need to. At 6 a.m., my attorney called back. I explained everything. The will, the deed, the fake lease, the boyfriend. He was silent for a second. Then, you have every legal right to remove them. Let's make this official. I'll draft a letter. But honestly, you don't need me for the locks. You just need proof and a locksmith. I thanked him. Hung up. The locksmith confirmed for 7 a.m. I'd already emailed him the deed and my ID. I printed the 30-day notice, 3 copies. 1 for my mom, 1 for my records, 1 for my attorney. I also printed 3 other documents. The will, the deed, the spreadsheet showing $78,000 in payments. I put them all in a clear plastic sleeve. Then I made 1 more call, back to the police not emergency line. I'm changing the locks on my property this morning. The current occupants don't know I'm the owner. There may be a confrontation. Can someone stand by? The dispatcher checked with a supervisor. We'll have an officer in the area. Call if you need us on site. Perfect. I sat at the kitchen table, watched the clock. 6:45. I heard the locksmith's van pull up outside. I grabbed the plastic sleeve, took a breath, and opened the front door. The locksmith got to work immediately. I handed him the deed, my ID, and a copy of the tax bill. He checked everything. Nodded. You're good. This'll take about 20 minutes. The sound of the drill echoed through the quiet street. At 7:10, I heard footsteps on the stairs inside. The front door opened. My mother, her boyfriend right behind her. She saw the locksmith, saw me standing there. Her face went red. What the hell are you doing? I stayed calm. Changing the locks. You can't do that. This is my house. The boyfriend stepped forward. You need to leave, now. I didn't move. I held up the plastic sleeve. This is the deed to the house. It's in my name. Has been for 5 years. This is the will that transferred it to me. And this is a record of every dollar I've spent maintaining it. I handed her the sleeve. She stared at it, didn't take it, so I set it on the porch railing. Then I handed her the 30-day notice. You have 30 days to vacate, per state law. After that, you're trespassing. Her voice got louder. You're lying. My mother left this house to me. No, she didn't. Read the will. The boyfriend grabbed the sleeve, ripped it open, started reading. I saw his face change. He looked at my mom. She's right. Your name's not on this. My mother's mouth opened. Nothing came out. I pulled out my phone and called the police. I'm at address. I'm the property owner. I have 2 occupants refusing to acknowledge my ownership. I'd like an officer to assist. They said someone was 2 minutes away. The boyfriend's eyes went wide. You called the cops? I'm the homeowner, your guests, and you were just told to leave. A patrol car pulled up. The officer stepped out, checked my ID, checked the deed, pulled up the county database on his tablet, turned to my mother. Ma'am, the property records confirm she's the sole owner. You'll need to vacate within the legal notice period or you'll be cited for trespassing. My mother tried to argue. The officer cut her off. Do you have a lease? A rental agreement she signed? Silence. Then he looked at the boyfriend. Sir, can I see your ID? The boyfriend froze. I'd emailed the officer earlier, told him about the warrant. He ran the name. His expression shifted. Sir, I need you to step over here. The boyfriend left. Right then. Didn't even pack. Gone. My mother stood there, silent. The locksmith finished, handed me 2 keys. I kept one, held out the other to my mother. 30 days. She took the key, turned, and walked inside without a word. I closed the door behind her. New lock, new key. My house. She moved out on day 28. No apology, no explanation. Just a U-Haul in the driveway and boxes on the lawn. Her boyfriend never came back. She rented a small apartment across town. I heard about it through my aunt. The family group chat went quiet for a while. Then I posted. Not a rant, not a call-out, just 3 attachments. The deed, the will, the payment spreadsheet. Caption, for anyone wondering. I didn't say anything else. Within an hour, the chat went silent. A few cousins messaged privately, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Most didn't say anything at all. That was fine. I wasn't looking for apologies. I was looking for peace. I changed the narrative the only way that mattered, with the truth. No public shaming, no viral revenge post, just boundaries. I installed a security system, changed the Wi-Fi password, repainted my grandmother's room, lavender, her favorite color. I hung a photo of her on the wall, and I finally felt like I could breathe. My aunt, the one who warned me, came over for dinner a few weeks later. We sat in the kitchen, laughed, told stories about Grandma. She became the family I chose, the one who saw me, who believed me. I learned something through all of this. The house was never really about property. It was about being seen, being valued, being believed. My mother's words, "You're just a guest," were projection. She was the one passing through. She never planted roots, never invested, never stayed. I did. And that's the difference between occupying a space and actually belonging. You can't control how people see you, but you can control what you allow, what you accept, what you protect. I don't regret letting her in. I regret not setting boundaries sooner. But I fixed that. Some people will test you. They'll push. They'll assume you won't fight back. That's when you pull out the receipts. Not for revenge, for clarity. My grandmother told me,
Don't let anyone take it from you. She wasn't just talking about the house, she was talking about my peace, my worth, my voice. I didn't let anyone take it, and I never will again. So here's my question for you. Have you ever had to prove you belonged in your own life? What boundary would you set if you were in my position? Drop a comment. I read everyone. And if this story resonated, hit subscribe. There are more stories like this coming, where the truth wins and the receipts speak louder than the lies. Thanks for watching. And remember, protect your peace, keep your receipts, and never apologize for standing on solid ground. One last thing. This is a fictionalized dramatization for entertainment purposes, not legal or financial advice. Always consult a professional for your specific situation.